Assalamu alaikum. It's me, Sarah Michal Sajid, and today I'm going to present a research paper that's published in CVPR Conference 2020. The title of the paper is Dual Domain Deep Convolutional Neural Network for Image Demoiring. We'll cover introduction of topic, background that includes the recent work, objective of our paper, the proposed solution, models, results, and implementation details. And at the end, we'll sum up these concepts in the form of conclusion. Here is the link of this paper along with a screenshot of the paper. So starting with the introduction, let's talk about Moir artifacts. This is really interesting topic. Basically, what is Moire artifact? These are strange looking patterns that exceed sensor resolution. So it is a definition. Basically, when we capture images using any digital conventional camera, the scene or an object that is being photographed contains some kind of repetitive details that exceed the resolution of the camera sensor. What happens? As a result, the camera produces strange looking wavy patterns called Moir artifacts. And these patterns can have various and complex shapes, like they can occur in form of stripes, curves, ripples. And secondly, I have mentioned here single image and burst image demoiring. Basically, they can occur in single image as well as burst means multiple images of any length. Here, the question is, how do they affect us? You can see the strange rainbow pattern on the left side as well as the wavy pattern visible on the right side of the image given below. So these are the patterns, we can say Moire artifacts. These are the Moire artifacts that causing significant degradation to the real quality of an image. So demoiring can be considered as image restoration, means we can remove distortions, noise, etc. As any pattern from the image. Basically, I told you earlier that when we capture the image, it will with Moire patterns, it exceeds the camera resolution. What does this mean? Basically, this happens when the item are seen being photographed contain a detailed pattern that does not play along with the pattern of the sensor of our camera. So with these two separate patterns, when they overlaid on top of each other, a third pattern, false pattern, we can say, emerges in the form of Moire pattern or artifact. So we should remove these patterns to make our image of a good quality. So I have mentioned in this slide, many previous works tried to remove these artifacts from the images. So the most common classical approach to removing Moire patterns is to add an optical low pass filter to the camera lens for anti-aliasing. So what is optical low pass filter? We know I can say optical low pass filter is sometimes referred to as an anti-aliasing filter. Again, what is anti-aliasing? Anti-aliasing, I can say it is the smoothing of jagged edges in digital images. Basically, means to make edges more clear, to make edges smoother. So the main role of the optical low pass filter here is to stop high frequency image information and to reduce the effects of any kind of moire and false color caused by high frequency waves in images. So simply I can make it more clear that by reducing the amount of detail of a scene, by reducing the details of any scene, researchers were trying to drastically reduce the chance of Moire patterns showing up in images. But this approach, may cause over smoothing due to the loss of high frequency components. However, recent works have also shown that deep learning based approaches are more effective than model based approaches. Based on this objective, we design a dual domain network in this paper to effectively remove Moire artifacts and generate a high quality clean image. You can see in the picture below that how we take single image as an input and generate clean image as an output. So now let's move on the proposed approach section. We develop deep convolutional neural networks to remove Moire artifacts in images. This is our main task, that we develop deep convolutional neural networks to remove such artifacts in images in multiple domains. Specifically, in the pixel domain and frequency domain. So our proposed network is composed of three subnetworks: the pixel network, frequency network, and fusion network. I'll give brief introduction to each one of them. So firstly, let's talk about the first network, that is the pixel network. What does it do? Basically, the pixel network takes input image with some kind of Moire pattern in it. It will generate feature maps, and by converting the input image into multiple feature maps, when apply filters to any image, we get feature maps. So by applying filters, we convert the input image into multiple feature maps at different resolutions. We get different levels of details from the input images, which we have used at the end to generate the final output image. So the pixel network, we can say, is composed of multiple branches of different resolution that I will explain later on. This is the working of pixel network. Next is frequency domain. Basically, images with Moire patterns are little harder, I can say, to distinguish from clean images, as Moire patterns are spread across a wide range of frequency bands. So we need to explore their properties in this domain. The frequency network removes Moire artifacts in the frequency domain by processing the discrete cosine transform coefficient. What is discrete cosine transform coefficient? I'll explain it further. So basically, in this slide, I'm giving a brief introduction about these three subnetworks of our proposed model. Finally, the last one is fusion network. What will it do? Finally, the outputs of the above two networks, both the pixel network and the frequency network, are taken as input in this domain, in this fusion domain. First, we estimate the individual results produced by the pixel network and then the frequency network. Now, the fusion network uses these results to generate Moire-free images by learning some dynamic filters. So now let's get into the details of the proposed model for single image demoiring. And you can say, I have told you earlier that we'll discuss two kinds of image. We will discuss two kinds of tasks. One is single image demoiring, and other one is burst images demoiring. So this is the model about single image demoiring. Okay, so we have three subnetworks I have mentioned earlier. First one is pixel network, and second one is frequency network. Third one is fusion network. Now, this is Moire image. This is our input image, and first network is our pixel network. The proposed network is pixel. That processes, basically this network processes an input image in the pixel value domain. Like, we'll directly deal with the image pixels. The pixel values will further manipulate it to achieve any desired enhancement, restoration operation, and we use the concept of multi-scale features in this network. I'll explain these things one by one in detail, but here I want to tell you about what are multi-scale features. Basically, we apply filters. It means that we apply filters on all levels at different resolutions of image to extract useful information. It is known as multi-scale features, that we are dealing with the features of an image on different levels, on different resolution. So in this network, let's explain its working. In this network, when we take input image with Moire artifacts, we pass it through edge extraction layer. You can see edge extraction layer here, where we extract edge maps. Now, what is edge map? Edge map is an image that indicates, we can say it is a kind of an image that indicates here where are the edges in the image. So we have, I can say that the image would have undergone some edge detection filter, and the values in the edge map image will reflect the strength of the edges. And after that, we concatenate them with the inputs, with the input to make edges more clear in the input image. So this network is composed of multiple branches, processes feature maps of the original resolution of the input image. While what will the other branches do? They process coarse, means rough in texture feature maps. So when I talk about the first convolutional layer, um, the first convolutional layer with a kernel size of 2 cross 2 and a stride of 2 in each branch is responsible for downsampling the feature map from the higher level branch by a factor of 2. By converting the input image into multiple feature maps at different resolutions, you can say we have explored the different details. We can say useful information from the input images. So now the first convolution layer you can see here in each branch is responsible for downsampling the feature maps from higher level. What is downsampling? Basically, by removing this extra data, like we have obtained, I said we obtained useful information from the input images. So why are we doing downsampling of the feature maps? Basically, we are removing the extra data. We are doing the reduction of data. This results in a much smaller file size. So by converting, what we have done by converting the input image into multiple feature maps at different resolutions, we have um, we have obtained the different level of details from the input image. Now at each branch, the output feature map from the first layer are fed into the sequence of attention dense block and residual dense block, and respectively. Here the question rises, what are these blocks? So, you know, there are many state of the art modules and blocks, and among these modules and blocks in image restoration, we can say the dense block and residual dense block are most closely related to demodeling. We can say here that these are the modules that we used in our proposed model, and I'll explain this in detail in the next slide. So let's move forward. So we what I have told you that until now what we have done, we have basically we have applied edge extraction layer. We get the Moire image as an input. We have applied edge extraction layer to detect its edges. Now we have multiple branches. At each branch, we have convolutional layer of with a kernel size of 2 cross 2 and stride of 2. Now we are doing downsampling. We are downsampling the feature maps from higher level branch by a factor of 2. What is downsampling here? I have told you that downsampling is the we get useful information and reducing the data that we don't want. So and we use further, we have used ADB blocks and RDB blocks that are closely related to demodeling artifacts. After downsampling at each layer, we have to increase the resolution of the feature maps at each branch. For that, we're using the upsampling module. To increase the resolution of the feature maps at each layer, we use unsampling module. You can see here at each layer we have used unsampling module. Basically, why we are using here unsampling module? Basically, after downsampling at each branch, we extracted fine details. That's fine. But this process repeats itself again and again. That reduces the size of feature maps. So to keep getting useful information and to retain the size, we have to do unsampling here. So which is a combination of single convolutional layer and a pixel shuffle. Pixel shuffle is also a layer, and basically we concatenate a feature map with that of the final branch. Like after unsampling at each layer, we again we again concatenate the result with that of the final branch. Finally, at the end of the top branch, you can see a convolutional layer is used to generate the final output image. Now, next is frequency domain. I want to sum up like what we have done in Pixel Network. There was an image, we take input image in the form with Moire artifacts, we apply edge extraction layer to extract its edges, and we then concatenate these edges with the input image to get edges sharper. So then we applied convolution, then we have branches, we applied convolution layer at each with the kernel size 2 cross 2. We do downsampling to get useful information and to reduce the unnecessary data. Then after doing downsampling, our filter size again this was repeating in a cycle, and our filter size is getting smaller and smaller in size. So we have to do an upsampling for that purpose, and we have done upsampling here to get useful information and retain the size of the feature maps. So at last we have concatenate those feature maps getting from these branches with that of the final branch, top branch, and finally at the end of top branch we use convolutional layer to generate final output image. So next is frequency domain. I want to tell you here that images with Moir patterns are generally, I have told you earlier that these images are generally indistinguishable, hard to distinguish from clean images, as Moir patterns are spread across a wide range of frequency bands. So for their efficient removal, we need to explore their properties. For this reason, we develop an additional subnetwork that you can see here. Uh, we have developed additional subnetwork here that processes DCT coefficients of the input images to remove void artifacts in the frequency domain. The way that discrete cosine transform works is we take some data, in this case or image data, and we try to represent it as a sum of lots of cosine waves. Generally we can say it transfers an image from the pixel domain to frequency domain. We also applied single ADB and 3 RADBs and a convolutional layer in this network. The final output image is you must be thinking that why we use ADB and RADB. I'll explain this in detail in the next slide. So the final output image is obtained by applying the inverse discrete cosine transform at the end of this layer. So what we have done in this, we have used discrete cosine, we have used the concept of discrete cosine transform coefficients to the input images to remove Moire artifacts in this domain. And but at start we have used discrete cosine transform, and at the end we use the inverse discrete cosine transform. We applied the inverse discrete cosine transform. What is the inverse discrete cosine transform? It reconstructs a sequence from its discrete cosine transform coefficients, like the output image from the frequency domain is obtained after applying it. So the third one is fusion network. After getting the output from the pixel network and output image from the frequency network, both these outputs will taken as input to the fusion network, and it will further generate Moir free image. I'll explain it in detail also. So next, now I'll explain the architecture of the ADB, attention dense block, RADB, and fusion network in detail. So what is attention dense block? Basically, you know, attention module, any attention block. Here, what does this mean? That it focuses on the main details. So why we use attention dense block here? Basically, it shows effectiveness in super resolution of the images. What is super resolution? It is a technique to enhance the image resolution, like upscaling or improving the details within an image. So what is it doing here? That attention dense block is effective in super resolution. Basically, it is doing this by preserving low level information to reconstruct high frequency details. While what is RDB? Residual dense block is an extension of DB that extracts abundant local features via densely connected convolutional layers, and you know, it avoids gradient vanishing in a deep network. As you know, because our goal is not only to remove Moir patterns but also to reconstruct missing information. So both these attention modules, we can say, are important and relevant modules necessary for our work. So you can see we have also used here the concept of CBM. You can see here that in these modules, after convolutional layer, we have concept of CLU and CBM. So what is CBM? CBM, also known as the convolutional block attention module. Among the many variations of the attention module, this convolutional block attention module is a simple but yet effective attention module for feed-forward convolutional neural networks. We used it for image denoising to remove all kind of noise, and super resolution. Super resolution, like to improve the details, to enhance the image. Why? Because it directs the network to focus on essential features and suppresses the unnecessary ones. Therefore, we employ CBM in the proposed network. Then we have, in the previous we have CLU layer. CLU is a scaled exponential linear unit. It stands as scaled exponential linear unit. They are activation functions that induce self-normalizing properties. And in this model, each convolution is followed by a scaled exponential linear unit activation function. And at last, basically, I have to I have to explain the concepts of attention dense block, residual dense block, and CBM that were used in the past slide, in the previous slide. So I have explained the architecture of them in detail here. So what is Fusion network? You can see here the dynamic filter generation network. Since I have told you earlier that after getting two images, one from pixel network and other from frequency network, we use them as an input to the Fusion network. Basically, these two images have different characteristics, so they both are candidates. We can say they are candidates for the Moire-free images. And in this network, in this Fusion domain, we use a convolutional layer with a kernel size of 1x1 for pixel-wise blending. Okay. Basically, what we do in the Fusion network is that when we get output from the pixel network and the frequency network, we apply dynamic blending filters, basically to generate a Moire-free image. What does dynamic blending filters do? They form a blend of two input images of the same size. So since these two images have different characteristics, so these two images have different characteristics. If one of them have some kind of Moire artifacts, or one of them have not shown good performance, or they left with some kind of artifact, then it will affect this. It will affect our Fusion network. So this approach, Fusion approach, may cause then that image to retain the artifacts if either network fails to accurately remove these. To tackle this issue, we instead employ a dynamic filter generation network here. What does this do? Basically, in traditional convolution layer, the learned filters stay fixed after training. In contrast, we introduce a new framework, that is dynamic filter generation network, where filters are generated dynamically conditioned on an input. And here, why we have used it? Basically, I have told you that if any of the output from the frequency or pixel domain comes with artifact, this dynamic filter generation network will use local blending filters to remove those artifacts and will yield the Moire-free image. So this figure shows the proposed Fusion network using dynamic local blending filters, and the coefficients of these filters are learned through a dynamic filter that in this case vary from position to position. So the next is burst image demoing. Basically, burst images are a set or sequence of multiple images with different geometric transformations like shape, position, etc. of the same scene. So these images are present in burst, in the form of burst of arbitrary length, and they contain various information. Each image contains information that will integrate at the end to get a high resolution image. So we in this case we develop you can see here that it is we take in input of burst images and develop clean, moire-free image as an output. And in this model of burst images, we proposed attention network. What will this do? We develop an attention network that is composed of global feature extractions, then feature alignments, and feature merging. And the key goal of this network is to capture the variations between each image and generate global features map that contain additional information from the burst that can be combined effectively to get more free images. So we have different convolution layers. Same convolution layers will applied and do downsampling, as I have explained in the previous model. We have then further applied ADB, RADB concept, and then we'll do upsampling. And at end of this pixel network, we have basically we have also proposed this model in two domains. One is pixel network and frequency network. And at the end of at the top level of the convolutional layer is used to generate an output image. In frequency network, we are again using discrete cosine transforms. Specifically, the frequency network takes only the center image in the sequence as input and removes more artifacts. So I'll summarize here that we take in the pixel network, we take burst images, we develop attention model. The goal was to extract useful information from each image in the burst, present in the burst, and obtain useful information. Then we go through that input through these branches, and at the end we develop output image. So in this whole process, we take one reference image, and these attention maps suppress the geometric distortions in the non-reference images. What does that do? Those geometric distortions in the non-reference images, when this attention module suppress those, it prevents the undesirable features from reaching the merging process. So where we use the results of the input dual domain network to generate a moire-free image. So similarly, in frequency domain, we simply takes the center image in the sequence as input and removes more artifacts. At last, same in the previous model, we applied fusion network that will take input of both these pixel network and frequency network and generate more free image as an output. So next I have mentioned some experiment results in this figure. This figure visually compares the demoiring results, and you can see the results. The first one is the results obtained after single image demoiring, and the second one is after burst image demoiring. You can see in these figures we get we first in column A, it is a ground truth. Second is the moire image, and then we get the output of a pixel network, frequency network, and fusion network. We have used PSNR to evaluate the performance of these networks. Basically, what is PSNR? PSNR is peak signal to noise ratio that is used to measure the quality of an image that is reconstructed, restored, etc. Thus, I can say here that higher the value of PSNR indicates that image is of higher quality, and greater than basically it is expressed in decibels, and the bigger it is, like if it is greater than 20 decibel, the better is the quality. So you can see here we also verify the effectiveness of the attention network for burst image demoiring, and basically this second figure shows that burst image demoiring results in a significantly higher image quality as compared to single image demoiring, demonstrated by, you can see highest PSNR scores mentioned under each image. So here is the table that is showing the quantitative comparison of the demoiring performances of the proposed dual domain network. And basically, because the fusion network effectively combines the results from both the pixel and frequency networks using the learnable filters, so it shows highest PSNR scores. So you can see here that using burst images with the proposed attention network further improves the performance and further improve the performance of the burst image network. At the end, I'll include the implementation details of our proposed network. Basically, the proposed algorithm includes three neural networks, the pixel network, frequency network, Fusion network. In our implementation, um, we have implemented our model using PyTorch, and we have used Celo activation function. One thing that we experimentally found here, that training the network separately is more efficient than end-to-end training in terms of both saving the training time and memory space. So we first train the pixel network, then frequency network separately, and at the end, we train Fusion network. The training data set is provided by the entire 2020 demodding challenge, and it took 2 days for a single image demodding and 3 days for a burst image demodding. So at the end, I'll conclude the whole presentation. Um, we developed a dual domain convolutional neural network that consists of three subnetworks to remove Moid artifacts in images. We have worked for single image demodding and burst image demodding. And the in these three subnetworks, the pixel network converts Moid image directly into feature maps, and then it processes these features at different resolutions. Then frequency networks remove small artifacts in the frequency domain using DCT coefficients. Finally, the output from both these domains are taken as input by Fusion network, and we generate a more free image. In this we also showed in this paper that the dual domain network can be extracted to remove Moid artifacts in multiple images with different geometric transformations of the same scene. And at last, we demonstrated the effectiveness of the proposed algorithm through the entire 2020 demodding challenge data set, and we get highest results using PSNR score evaluation. And that's the end of our discussion. Thank you.